From being so much more than a perfect English debutante, to bringing a refreshing wave of kindness to the uptight, frosty ton. Here's why the most hated Bridgerton character is actually the best. Folks, I'm talking about Miss Edwina Sharma, a character that many people think was annoyingly obsessed with landing a husband, but failed to see that she actually had more to offer than that. On the outside, it looks like Edwina is just made for marriage, but if you look deeper, she's not just a sit-still-look-pretty kind of girl. Along with her beauty, she's sharp and perceptive. I know y'all must be thinking, but she couldn't even see her sister falling for Anthony? But that's because Kate was her blind spot. She never imagined her sibling would do anything to hurt her. That's why it came as a shock to her. Aside from that, Edwina knows how to win people over. What's more, she may not look like it, but the girl's an intellectual. She loves literature and can speak multiple languages including French, Latin, Greek, Marathi, and Hindustani. Impressive. No wonder she became the season's diamond. But despite that, people always had a new bone to pick with her. And the biggest of them all was how she's this doe-eyed, naive girl. Some would even say stupid. I'm not saying she didn't make some mistakes on the show, but what the trolls didn't catch on to was that she grew from her errors. Throughout the entire season, she went on an unparalleled journey of self-discovery. When you first met her, she was so young, and it was clear that she lived by her sister's rules, which meant she wasn't allowed to carve her own identity. Then, once she finally owns up to her life, you see her blossom from a sheltered girl into a confident woman who can speak for herself. In the last ballroom scene, she truly becomes the self-assured former lover who pushes her sister to dance with her ex-fiancé. And don't we all want that chill, understanding ex instead of a toxic one? Also, perhaps the best part of her character development was, even after getting heartbroken and rejected in love, she didn't give up on finding her soulmate. That was still important to her, given she was such a romantic soul. But she learned that real love looks vastly different from her fanciful ideals. Also, the sword of marrying to score financial aid was no longer on her head, so the girl could go crazy, finding her happily ever after. From the finale's teasing ending, it looked like Miss Sharma might have a prince charming in waiting, courtesy of the monarch. But there will be a big change this time. She'll do it on her terms, rather than her sister and mother pushing her to marry. Now I admit, despite her winning qualities. One thing people could not digest about her was her outburst on her almost wedding day, in the episode The Choice. She completely lashed out at Kate, taking no prisoners and not being her usual considerate self. But let's be honest, guys, Edwina's anger was justified. It was her wedding day. She couldn't wait to walk down the aisle. And then, in a shocking bolt from the blue, she discovered her sister was in love with her fiancé. Ouch. Just imagine if that happened in real life, everyone would have taken the bride's side. But here, Canthony shippers ripped her a new one, just for being the only one acting rationally. Not many viewers saw things from her perspective. To Charithra Chandran's character, Kate constantly pushing her not to marry Anthony and always painting him in a bad light would make it seem like she's keeping the Viscount all to herself. Not a good look, is it? So do you blame her? The younger Miss Sharma felt betrayed by her sister. Also, the last-moment realization, while she was standing at the altar in front of the Queen and the ever-looking crowd of Ton, who y'all would agree are the most vicious gossipers ever, nothing about the situation was right. Add that embarrassment into a cocktail of betrayal and the feeling of not seeing things sooner would make even the best of us go ballistic. So hating on her for acting as she did honestly makes no sense. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that this was the first moment where she finally took down her mask, stepping into her true, confident self, and it was worthy of praise, and people need to appreciate her more, because she stole the show as a side character. The fact that she got so many talking, even negatively, is your first proof that she made an impact on the audience. Then, if you look at all the other side characters in Bridgerton's history, none have been so memorable, and maybe originally, she wouldn't be either. That's right, in the book series, Edwina's a pretty minor character who's actually in love with someone else and never wanted to marry Anthony in the first place, so she's thrilled when he and Kate are engaged. But of course, the Netflix adaptation had to up the antes by spicing things up with a love triangle, where both sisters fall for the Viscount. Scandal-worthy, isn't it? Some loyal fans of the original series found this trope unnecessary, and that's why they turned their guns on the younger Sharma. But despite that, she made a mark on every character, even winning over the otherwise picky queen. You know, that's not a light feat. In fact, some pro-Edwina Reddit users went as far as to say that if you remove Kate from the equation, her younger sister had all the qualities to be a leading lady, and the perfect Viscountess the eldest Bridgerton was looking for. This debate started a comparison between her and all the other ladies of the show. And what do you know, folks, she's the combo of all of Bridgerton's Wonder Women. When it was first aired, this Netflix series became the hottest show on the planet, mostly because of its too-hot-to-handle, bodice-ripping encounters. Nobody could look away, no matter how much it made you blush, right? But if you look beyond this naughty aspect, you'll quickly notice how this show boasts a glittering ensemble of powerful ladies, from the sassy Queen Charlotte, hiding a unique mix of gentleness and strength, to the cunning Lady Featherington, who takes the bulls by the horn to ensure her daughters are well settled. You gotta admire that resilience. All these empowering female touches are hard to miss, with a talented woman like Julia Quinn as the author and an equally talented boss lady, Shonda Rhimes adapting it for the screen. They've tried their best to give all Bridgerton ladies a winning quality that makes you want to bow down to them. So why would they leave behind Edwina? As it turns out, they've given a piece of everyone's redeeming qualities to her, making her the best of all female characters. She has a deep desire to love and create a family like Violet Bridgerton, is well-read like Eloise, hides a hidden strength that goes unnoticed by most just like Queen Charlotte. And following in Daphne's footsteps, Miss Sharma's entire life is reduced to a single moment, to marry and have lots of babies. Yet she perseveres to prove she's more than just a label. Her other attributes of being kind, ever so gentle and innocent, are the cherries on top. And you know what? All this goes to prove there's no one like her in Bridgerton. You know, finding a suitor in Regency-era London is such a cutthroat business, and all bets are off. Most of the crew have got their knives out, willing to cross all limits. I mean, just look at Cressida Cowper and Lady Featherington. Even the others are either hatching plans or whispering to themselves. No one listens to each other. This was even highlighted by Violet in Queen Charlotte, A Bridgerton Story. She was talking to Lady Danbury at the art gallery, saying if people do talk, it lacks real empathy, and ain't that the truth? And then comes the sweetest character, the younger Sharma sister, who genuinely wants to talk to people, always has a positive outlook on all situations. Even if people try to be mean to her, the girl magically swings things around, giving a retort that's kind of a cool clapback. Not mean, though. To put it this way, it looks like the girl has been listening to Selena Gomez, 'cause she kills them with kindness. In such a tight-lipped society as the Ton, she's a breath of fresh air, showing a level of compassion unlike any other. I've got the perfect example for you, and it's the moment that left everyone in awe of her, dealing with King George. When the disoriented monarch suddenly stumbled on Charlotte, who was ready to rain hellfire on Miss Sharma for ruining the wedding, no one had any idea what to do, even the Queen. But our girl stepped forward, shocking everyone, and handled him so gently that even the haters applauded the moment. Need I say more? So, from bringing a refreshing wave of kindness to an uptight, frosty Ton, to being so much more than a perfect English debutante, that was why the most hated Bridgerton character is actually the best.